Are you a bag crusher? Do you have a great technique for getting this BVM bag between your hand and your thigh and squeezing out every last millimeter of air? It may be time for you to stop that. And I'll tell you why on this episode of One for the Road. I imagine that while you're watching this, you're at rest right now. You're sitting in front of a computer screen or you're watching this on your phone. Consider your breathing right now. It's probably barely detectable, right? A mild rise in your chest, maybe a slight sensation of air moving in and out through your nose. That volume of air is your resting tidal volume, and it's probably right around 500 milliliters of air, or about 16 breaths a minute. You put that all together, and that's your oxygen needs while you're at rest from minute to minute. Do you remember how much air is in one of these? Depending on the model and the manufacturer, it's somewhere between 1,500 and 2,000 milliliters of air. That's about 4 times greater than what your lungs are accustomed to on a day-to-day, breath-by-breath basis. So when I ask you the question, can you overventilate a patient with a BVM? The answer is a resounding yes. Can you cause barotrauma? Can you injure their lungs with a BVM? Absolutely yes. In fact, the smaller, the older, the more frail the patient, the more likely it is that you could injure them if you're doing your monster bag crushing ventilations. So what can you do about it? To right-size that ventilatory effort, what should you do to get your efforts to that nice 400 to 600 milliliters that are recommended during BVM ventilation? First, use adjuncts. Use airway devices. But wait, you might say, don't those devices make it easier for me to bag the patient? Won't that make it worse? I'd say no. You see, often we develop that high pressure bag crushing technique because we're trying to overcompensate for either bagging resistance caused by poor head position or a poor mask seal or lack of adjuncts or even just bad technique. So when the head is in a nice tilted position with an OPA and or an NPA and a good mask seal, maybe some 2-person BVM technique, suddenly a gentle bag squeeze accomplishes everything that we need. And we don't feel the need to force air in past all of those soft tissues. I also want you to consider waveform capnography. If you guide each one of your breaths with waveform capnography, it's going to give you great feedback about your ventilatory rate, your volume, and your effectiveness. So back off of that bag crushing technique. Good technique, quality feedback, and a gentle squeeze is all you really need. Hey, I'm Steve Whitehead. I appreciate you watching. That is One for the Road.